Okay, it is 7:30 on Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. We're opening the public forum. Is this 4:55? This one's us.
Good evening.
How are we doing?
Very well. How's everyone tonight?
Good, thanks. Sorry, I'm just going through the mail. Cool. Okay, we have payroll for February 8th, 2025, pay ending date February 8th, 2025, and for February 15th, 25. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
So we have a request for germination, if I can talk, of ability in RDA along the MBTA right of way operated by Hillness Community Services, the Purple Line. So we need to. I talked to Matt, who was he's the representative today, and I completely forgot that I had this. But anyway, we need to schedule a site visit with him. So he was. I'm going to call him or email him back and tell him what availabilities we have, so we could. What's the first February? What's the first Tuesday in February or March?
Is that the 4th?
I think it's
First is the 4th.
okay. So I can see if he's available that day for the hearing. And we already have a hearing for Auburn Street that day, so it would be at 8 p.m. If he's available. I'll figure out when we can do a site inspection.
What was that address again?
It's the Purple Line. It's the MBTA. It's the right-of-way maps by thing. Let's see if there's a picture. Yeah, and you can read this. The seal in the company said no one gets it except me, so you can review it.
These Auburn.
What?
The Auburn one, do we have a launch schedule for that?
I have the paperwork, but that's not until March 4th, so I didn't bring the plans with me. It's the pool, so I think Carl said he could do the 28th, which I believe is a Friday. Can you check that? Because that would be the 4 o'clock.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Yep. February 28th is a Friday.
Yes. So
Yep.
we will have a site inspection for the Auburn Street
Okay.
at 4 o'clock on February 28th.
I won't be around.
You will or you will? Okay.
But Brian should be back then too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be back. Yeah. I should be good. I'll confirm, but.
Yeah, so I'll talk to Matt, see when he's available, and that will do Carl. Do we have minutes?
Yes, but this is how they turned it out, so.
Okay, well, we can't approve them then, so.
I sent it in an email.
Yeah, but we physically need to give it to him, I think, because I haven't read them yet, so haven't had time. So we'll just approve on the 4th. Ouch. Oh my gosh. Hands are killing me. Let's see. Is there anything else? Yeah, so I think, so this one lady, and I think I mentioned it last meeting, there is a, I think she's from the, I don't know if she's from the Planning Council, or Old Colony, that she wanted history about the Conservation Commission.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't really have history. I mean, I've been on it, but we, you know, I think she wants to deep dive. So I told her I would reach out to our prior secretary, but I'm not gonna, well, I got an email from this person, but I think her email got hacked. So I wasn't going to
okay.
respond.
Yeah.
And I was waiting to talk to her at church, but she hasn't been there. So I'm going to call her because I want to get her permission before I give out her information.
Yeah.
And also she would have maybe information about Rowena. Is that how you say it?
Rowena Ave. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Because Mary Beth had asked me about that, and it's like, because I forwarded the email,
Yeah.
that I go, oh, sorry, forgot to put you on the email, Mary Beth, because I had responded to Kathy. So, again, she might, because she would have been on the commission at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then,
That's going back.
Yeah, because the other person that, I mean, he passed away,
Okay.
George, so,
Yep.
she was on the commission for over 40 years.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
I do have some information related when I was doing some research for the open space and recreation plan, which I do want to talk to you about at some point separately. There was one of the History of Whitman books that was produced. I think it was the 1975 edition. There's some nice info in there written by a person who was on the commission at that time.
Oh, do you have
so
a copy?
it's at the library available.
Oh, okay.
I have an older one from my neighbor, but it doesn't really have much. But
It's the annual-
I think it's the 75 one. It's in the library. And
It's the annual report.
no,
Oh.
it's like a history of Whitman, like
Oh,
a book,
okay.
a bound book. It's commemorating an anniversary.
I would suggest too, give them the historical commission.
Right.
Because
They may-
I turned in annual reports from the 50s and 60s that my family had.
Wow. Yeah.
So they may have annual reports, and there was some really nice summaries from every department too.
Oh,
Might be
okay.
something
Yeah.
there,
Yeah, 'cause because I have every year. Yeah, each department has to put some. So I've already did it for this year, which it's retrospect. Yeah.
Is she looking for a historical record or something, or is it really?
I can't remember, but I can't remember. I thought she said it was something with planning, but I can't remember. Like I said, my phone in the car. But yeah. And when we get the invoice from the ad for South Ave, have you already gotten it from Deb? Make a copy. Do you have a copy? Okay. I'll need a copy just for the file itself, but also put one in Kathy's mailbox because it's the town's. They're the applicant, so they need to pay for it. So instead of having these guys have to pay it and then add it onto a bill. And I mean, it can get paid faster if, hopefully, if we just put it to the, give it to Kath and she can pay it. She can expedite it.
She's paying it, or
What?
is she paying it, or?
The town's paying for it.
Okay, so she'll handle it.
Yeah, she'll know what it is because it's for, we'll give her a copy of the ad too, because she'll probably need it for her file, but I also need a copy of the ad to stick in this file. But they're operating on behalf of the town, so the town is like anybody, whoever the applicant or the owner is, they have to pay for the ad. But since the town doesn't own this property, but they're the applicant, they're paying for the ad. So, and we're not, the Conservation Commission is not paying for it
Yeah.
because it's not our project. So, anyway, let's see, what time is it? No, 4 minutes to go. Yeah, I haven't received any phone calls. Yay. Well, I did from this Matt person, but luckily I was able to make out his phone number because he was like, this is, and I was like, people, enunciate, slow down, so I can understand what your phone number is and what you'd like.
Yeah.
Because just not
Doesn't do you
helping.
much good.
No. So, okay. What else? Do you have anything?
Oh, I did want to mention, I had seen on Facebook a nonprofit organization, Make Me Brand New. Did you ever hear about them? The woman who founded it, I think, lives in town. She had posted something about they're planning an Earth Day cleanup around town. They're in the planning process, which just brought up the question about, because it seemed like they were starting at Hobart. Just brought the question, historically, what have we done? How have we been involved, etc.
She contacted me, if it's the same person.
Okay.
So they contacted me last year.
Okay.
And wanted to do Hobart. And I was like, well, we have 2 ponds. So it'd be nice if, Hobart gets, a lot of attention, but it's like, you could do the other pond too, share the joy. Because I think, so,
She'll take the budget.
you can message her or whatever, but also just on that note of Harding. So there had been people skating,
Yeah.
which is fun. That's, but, as it melted, someone left the chair.
Yeah, I saw the chair.
And I was like, and then it was kind of like sinking, and then I didn't see it anymore, so I don't know if it's in the pond or somebody took it out.
Yeah.
Well, the DPW goes and cleans the dam because of the beavers. I don't know how many we have, but I don't think the otter does stuff like that, but the beaver does a great job of stopping the flow. So they go and get their little claw machine and pull stuff up and everything. So
They might have saw the chair then.
they might have, but I don't know.
It's worth asking if they didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe they can
Yeah.
check it in the sky.
Yeah. So anyway,
If it was a metal or plastic.
it was just a patio chair.
Yeah.
So it had
it's probably
cloth.
metal, yeah.
It had metal
Folding metal, I would
and
say.
then
Cloth,
like a cloth
seat, yeah.
seat and back.
Yeah.
Probably fish it over the magnet.
Yeah, well, that's what I'll just look when I go by.
Yeah,
I'll make my
'cause-
husband get it.
Yeah, because I was just like, it's
not far.
No, it's in front of the.
It's shallow. You just don't want it to drift any further.
Yeah. No, it's in front of the.
dam.
No, it was in front of the dam or the head wall. Well, it's not a
It's
dam.
close to
It's the head wall.
head wall.
So, yeah, you could if you had a broomstick. You could probably
Yeah, just retrieve it pretty
Yeah.
easily.
Or
yeah.
if it had a pool. I don't have a pool, but for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cleaning
Yeah,
things.
the hooks.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So we'll see if.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, reach out to him and
All right. Yeah, no, I'm just curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, because I don't know if
it's
She asked if they could, and I said, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when I threw in my hand. Got a big group.
Yeah,
Bring them
I
over
know.
here.
That'd be nice, yeah.
But I think, was that the Earth Day? Is that
It's
around
April.
Whitman Day?
It's no.
Oh,
'cause,
okay.
like, Whitman Day is June.
In June,
Yeah,
yeah.
and Earth Day is
Okay.
April. I don't know, mid-April.
Oh, okay, so maybe I didn't see them.
Maybe first or something.
Something like
Yeah.
that, right? Maybe, yeah.
So I probably didn't see them, well, I didn't go down to Hobart's anyway. But yeah. Okay. Oh, it's 7:45. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. We are going to do DEP 3400487, 545 Franklin Street. I don't remember if I told you, but I need a check for $45 for the ad.
okay.
And we can't close the hearing without one, so my bad if I thought I had told you. And I also need the butter cards, the certified,
The butter notices.
yes.
Yeah. I emailed those this morning. Do you need the hard copies of those?
You what? You emailed?
Emailed, yeah.
Emailed who?
You.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was flat out at work today. This is, crazy time. Okay, and I don't have my phone. If you sent them to me, that's fine. We'll have that.
Yes, yeah. So the abutters were notified a few weeks back. We can bring that check in this week too.
What was that?
We can bring in the check this week too.
Okay, I can't close the hearing without the check, so I apologize for not doing it, but it doesn't prevent you from, like...
I can drop on tomorrow. Additional check will call me.
Okay, that's fine too.
Okay.
Scott and I are working with Grady Consulting. They've met most of you now. Submitted a notice of intent.
Oh, hold on, this process, gotta start first, hold on. Okay, this is for 545 Franklin Street, Whitman, 02382. The applicant is Jeffrey Bailey at the same address. Representative is Scott, how do you say your last name? Fanhar of Grady Consulting, LLC. Okay, too far. Where's the package? Trying to find the page that has the... One more time. Oh, and it's the abutters list. Do you have an abutters list?
We did. We notified them, so not in that packet.
I don't see it. Let's see. Does it say abutters list? Or something?
It might have been included with the receipts that we sent you this morning. If not, then I'll
Yeah, I don't think it's in this
I'll send
packet.
it to you.
Because we see item 6, there's the 2 checks, and then it says 7 abutters list, so I think we're missing.
Okay.
we can get you a copy of the list with the notices and the check
Okay.
tomorrow.
Oh, jeez. Here it is. Construction of a single-family dwelling with associated driveway and utilities. We don't have anybody here, so I would give my speech, but now I don't have to. So you can go ahead and present.
Okay. Scott Fenner, Creative Consulting. What we have here is we have a 2-family up front, and then all this land back here, it's all undeveloped. We've gone to ZBA to allow for a retreat lot and the planning board for an A&R. So this is now a separate parcel of land. We're planning to keep that house up front as a separate lot and put a new single-family dwelling in the back here. Access to it will be off of Franklin Street. Their driveway is going to be in or around the wetlands, minimum of 50 feet for the buffer, 50 feet for the wetlands. It will be an asphalt driveway. All utilities are going to be running underground, so the water line, the forced sewer mains will be pumping up here to a manhole, which will then be grabbing into the sewer system, as well as underground electric. We're going to put a pole on this side here, go overhead across the street, and then underground, and then all under the driveway. It's probably best to see the second sheet here. This second sheet breaks it up into 2 views. So this is coming off the road. So the road's up at about 110. So we'll be sloping down. The house, the garage slabs goes at 90. So 20 feet drop from the road all the way down. It'll be somewhat steep coming through here, proposing a 6% grade. It's going to be super elevated to pitch to the left, and there'll be a berm along this entire side. So all the stormwater runoff will be pitched to the left along the drive. It's going to flood through this rain garden. So we have one rain garden proposed here at the bend, and then another proposed here. So the house is going to be sloped down toward the rain garden, and then this bend is going to be sloped this way. So all the runoff from the roadway is going to be going into rain gardens. So it's not directly going into the wetlands. All the sediment runoff will go collected in there. Single-family dwelling out back. Our goal here is to maximize our distance away from the wetlands, but there's also a train track back here. So we don't want to get too close to that for obvious reasons. As far as runoff for the house, there'll be all gutters, roof drains going down into these 2 proposed dry wells. So all the impervious coverage that's created on the site will be mitigated in some way. We are proposing a silt sack around the entire limit of work. In this steep section here, we're also proposing a silt fence. And we discussed on site, I think Saturday, that we will extend this silt fence all the way around here. Mm-hmm. So anything in close proximity to this wetland it'll be doubled up with the silt sock and silt fence. Construction access will be from Franklin Street. So once everything's staked out, the silt sock is in, we've had our pre-construction meeting. They're going to go in, they're going to clear this path through here, and then that'll be their access in and out throughout construction. There will be plenty of room back here. In fact, outside the buffer zone for storage of equipment, stockpile materials. So yeah, that answer any questions.
Ed, do you have anything?
So talked about a couple of things when we were on site too. We talked about fill being brought in.
Yep.
And I think we were wondering about what testing needed to be done on that fill, or because it's going to be brought in the 50-foot zone.
Yep. So yes, there'll be a little bit of fill brought in, and this 50-foot buffer here, and then just kind of along the roadway coming in through here.
Are you going for the driveway? Are you going to do like an initial path and then like a small top coat and then finish it once all the vehicle,
Yeah, the finish
construction's
coat
done.
will be done, after construction, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And another thing I think we talked about on site too is in this area within this 50-foot buffer, we are going to be clearing a little bit of vegetation out and grading it. We are open to putting in some type of native plantings in that area.
Yeah, and when we left, another thought occurred to me, so that's the 50-foot zone.
Yep.
What about 25 feet? I mean, I kind of would have a little bit of a problem if we're taking trees down and vegetation 25 feet from wetland.
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna go that close?
It doesn't look like we'll be going 25 feet, and just look by eye. This looks like it might be a little close, but I'd be happy if you did put that into the order that we won't disturb the 25 feet. We could kind of steepen this slope to make sure we are staying at least 25 feet away.
Yeah. And then the natural vegetation would be great.
Yeah,
And the rest of the 50. I know you're excited about that. Your wife's excited.
Yeah, my wife is very excited about that. Yeah.
And I don't know, I know we have our standard form too.
Yep.
For conditional, again, like we talked about too, just a recommendation, it's not a requirement, but think about your lighting.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we won't shine any light.
Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think you talked about it so far, so we're good on my end.
Do you have any questions?
Just the two things I was thinking about. I'm glad you mentioned just concerns around the wetlands during construction, in terms of where you're storing materials. So that, as you said, it's going to be back here in this area. Yeah. Okay. I mean, as you said, there seems to be room there. So, okay. So that's good.
Yeah, there's definitely room to store
Yeah.
materials on here. I mean, even equipment they can likely store it there.
Okay. Yeah. Just keep an eye on that. All right. Cool. And then I think we were going to talk about yard maintenance.
Yes,
Going
that will be in the
forward once it's
boilerplate.
perfect.
There
Okay.
won't be no
Just to
fertilizer. There
do's
won't
and don'ts. Yeah.
You can't use salt on the driveway. You can't put any lawn clippings or anything near the wetlands. That's a big no-no.
Sure.
Yeah, you can't even go in the wetlands.
Yeah.
So
Except
where those,
to clean up some of the
you
some of the
can
debris
clean up
that's in there.
like that metal tubing and all the other stuff, but no activity in the wetlands aren't supposed to be touched at all. That's why they're the wetlands. So
We're pulling trees out of it that are
yeah,
in the ground,
Okay.
habitat
yeah,
for animals.
yeah. If they fall. That they'll disintegrate, and
Okay.
that's the whole. They're homes for animals
Sure.
and everything else. So.
You did make me think of another question, if that's okay.
That's-
So I noticed on the plans for the dry well and the rain gardens, there's optional materials that are listed up in the top right. It says optional materials. When is your decision to say,
Is it this?
yeah, we're gonna do
Oh
that?
yeah.
Oh, okay, yes.
So
So
they're not optional at this point, right?
so these optional materials. This comes from the BMP, from the state stormwater regulation. So like the optional stone diaphragm
Yeah.
and the stone curtain drain. We are not proposing that.
What about the under drain?
We're not
So
we're not proposing that for drain either.
So no stone.
That's at a lower elevation than the road, and it naturally grades back down toward the wetlands. So I don't think an under drain's really necessary there.
Yeah.
It's not going to surge and come back up onto the road. We do have a crushed stone, inlet spillway, so that way it's not eroding from the road into the rain garden.
Right, coming out.
Yeah.
All right, so no stone diaphragm, no stone curtain, and no under drain.
Correct.
And then the other one is on the dry well.
Yep.
So you got a couple of dry wells. I think that had an optional as well too, something over there. Or maybe it didn't have an optional.
No, there shouldn't be anything optional in that.
So we all right with that?
Yeah.
Cool. We're good.
Okay. We will close the hearing. I will.
Do the plans get updated for some of these things that are discussed, like the optional, that goes away, or what happens with the plans, like with the silt fence being added?
It's already on here.
I mean, in the
Extending it all the way around.
extending, the extension to 50, they must need to get updated, right? So that way,
Yes.
when Jeff goes to build, you got an accurate size.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to put that as a condition, we can update and extend that fence all the way around.
Yeah, because I won't be able to complete the order of conditions because it'll have to have the new date and a stamp on it, and yeah.
Yeah, and remove the optional material. If you're not.
Yeah, if you're not going to do these details,
Yeah.
then remove that, because when they have to, whatever the plan says, even if it says optional, we'll need to address it, so
Sure.
you can get that. So, we can close the hearing, and once there we go. We will hit the, we'll have to sign, So, yes, we will close the hearing. As soon as I get everything, then I can complete the order of conditions. And before you proceed with anything, you need a sign up. It doesn't have to be huge or anything, but it has to be visible from the street.
Sure.
And your number, I believe you're on the email from DEP. It's 340-0487. That's all you need to do is put that number up. It has to stay up as long as it takes. Yeah.
Sure.
You have 3 years from today to complete. If you do not complete it or you're not finished, just email us that you want an extension. You don't have to appear for that. You will just create another one, and hopefully it's not going to take you 3 years. But we can do it that way. And also, before you can start anything, and this is all in the boilerplate that you'll get, before anything else can happen, you have to go and take the order of conditions to the register. And I don't know how much it costs. It doesn't cost that much.
Okay.
And then I need the receipt that you're going to get because, well, I just need a copy. I don't need the original. It has to go in the file. So we know that you have put it on the books. And like I said, when we were out there, if you ever sell, all this documentation that we're going to give you needs to pass to the new owner.
Sure.
Because the order of conditions and the notice of intent go with the property, not the owner.
Right.
So,
Great. Yeah, so for the check, I can bring that tomorrow and just make it to town of Whitman?
no, you
Okay.
make it to the Whitman Hanson Express
Oh, yeah.
for $45.
Okay.
And you can just give it to the town clerk,
Okay.
and they'll just have them put it in our mailbox. And then Erica can get that and then mail it in with the invoice.
Okay. So I'll just drop it off with them and say, for conservation, put it in your mailbox.
Yes.
Okay. Will do.
And I think that's it. So we are closing. It is 8:05. We're closing the hearing for 340-487. So we're good.
Thank you. Will do. Thank you very much.
We can sign it. Oh,
Yeah.
do you want? Who wants the order of conditions?
The original, we'll take it to.
Okay, then I will certified mail it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll sign it after. Okay. On to other things. I've covered that piece.
Good.
Yeah, so I can get back in here. Yeah, one was okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now we are. This is for determining applicability. The applicant is the town of Whitman. The property owner is H&G Whitman Development Company. Town of Whitman is 54 South Avenue, Whitman, Massachusetts. H&G Whitman Development Company, Post Office Box 1915. Katoot, I don't know.
Oh, Katuit.
Katoot. All right. Mass 02635. The project description is proposed environmental investigations with limited vegetation clearing as detailed in the attached site report. And you guys may begin.
Good evening. Paul McManus from Ecotech.
I'm Dan Kerr for Dentist.
And I feel like we already had a meeting. We had a nice discussion on the site. I guess we should officially start at the beginning. So this is Dan standing on an updated figure. This project basically relates to the old shoe factory, trying to move it forward towards ultimate redevelopment. And there's some known contamination issues out there, including what's referred to as a landfill. It's not a landfill we typically think of it, but it's an area where waste was leather and I don't know what else from the factory operation were put out behind the former building location. So there's also a question, there's some records of underground storage tanks. The fate of those is not really certain, whether they all came out or not. And there's desire to get a better understanding of what's in the ground at the landfill area, and also in terms of are there tanks in the ground, and more updated information about contamination on the property. So the real work that is intended is a geophysical survey, which is basically bringing a cart back and forth across the property to get a picture of what's in the ground, and then also additional test borings with small track rig, additional test borings at a number of locations throughout the property to see what's there. Again, ultimately to be able to develop an understanding of what's there towards hopefully moving forward with eventual cleanup towards, make it safe for redevelopment. In order to do those things, it's proposed to go in and do vegetation clearing. which is, as I guess you all already saw on the site, it's overgrown, some very dense, thick shrub areas. There are a few trees around the perimeter, a couple on the interior. The trees would remain. It would be only shrubs. It's proposed that the town public works would do the work with a small machine with essentially a grinding mechanism on the end of a boom that would go through the property. All the cut material would just be allowed to drop on the site and would essentially compost in place over time. And during the site walk, it was discussed about putting in an erosion control barrier at the edge of the work where it abuts the water vegetated wetland. The revised plan that Dan just gave you shows that. We submitted under a cover letter from Ecotech from my office that describes what that would be. A minimum 8-inch diameter straw wall, fully biodegradable, including the wrap, and then staked with wood stakes at not more than 10-foot intervals to basically adhere it to the ground. And so it's proposed that would happen before any other activity on the site at the location that is on Dan's plan. So, anything to add?
No, just to clarify, if allowable, we all saw the site conditions out there. Our preference would be to try to install that immediately following the clearing in that area, just so we could be able to physically drag out, it's about 200 linear feet or so of that erosion control.
So clear to have access to bring it in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my understanding, based on the site walk, that the erosion control measures were really for any longer term effects after the investigation and clearing has happened, just to help minimize any migration of silt material and things like that towards the bordering vegetated wetland once the overlying material has been cleared.
Yep.
Now, how are you going to figure out where the tank is? Like, I wouldn't say metal detector because it's down really far. I don't think it's up. I'm not a metal detector specialist.
Essentially is, so that geophysical survey generally uses two different instruments. One is the ground penetrating radar, which as Paul mentioned, kind of shows, it's almost a picture of what's underground. But before that, they'll go around with an electromagnetic detector. Essentially, it's just a very high-powered, metal detector that detects any changes in conductivity. So, these kind of tanks of this age, would be suspected to be of steel. So those are pretty readily visible, within the upper 10 feet or so.
Okay. And, well, I guess this would be phase 2 or whatever after that. Said tanks would be removed for, like, if you're for any construction, but I presume that's not under.
Yes, that isn't proposed under this scope of work, so we're working on behalf of the Old Colony Planning Council, in conjunction with the town who's interested in redevelopment of this site. The work that's being funded through OCPC is limited to assessment only.
Okay.
So our scope of work would be to find if the tank's there, potentially identify it, try to put some borings, collect samples around it to determine if there's an evident release, if the tank still exists.
Okay.
And then from there, hopefully, the next plans would be to get funding, through mass development or something like that, to do a tank removal action. But that would be further down the road outside of the scope of work.
Okay.
So if things go well, we'll be back.
Okay. Good to hear. Do you have any?
And then when you're doing the clearing, we talked about the trees, and you mentioned it too, leaving the trees. Are you going to be present when the DPW's doing it?
No, that's already
That's done deal.
It will be, yes.
As long as that's codified, written
Yes.
for us, then
Yes, because,
absolutely. So we would have someone on site.
Yes,
To go over. We will have someone on site with the DPW as they perform this work. So we'll be able to talk through the scope objectives with them. We'll be out there with a GPS so we can clearly identify the boundaries and limits of the proposed clearing
It's a
area.
fun machine to run. We're gonna go back and there won't be anything there. So as long as somebody's there, I don't know if you're flying or whatever the case, top season.
Yeah, we would have a representative from Verdantis on site.
Yes, so Kathy will be the contact person of contacting DPW and scheduling whenever it's time through your process, you will need to contact her, and then she can set up something with DPW to arrange that one of your people is out there guiding them and instructing them, not guiding, instructing them what they can and cannot remove and how much or how little to do. Yeah, where it's not a free
Do we
range.
get notified when that's gonna happen? Because I think we talked about, wouldn't mind being there.
Well, it depends on the next, there's a whole process with this. So we have this meeting, but then they have to do other things, from my understanding, when we were talking at the site, that you have to get approvals or something else.
We have what's called a quality assurance project plan under review at the EPA right now, but that's more guided towards the sampling and laboratory analytical procedures of the program. So the vegetation clearing, once this process is cleared, then we're able to move forward with that portion of the project.
So how soon do you want to proceed with that? Do you have to wait on anything once we close the hearing to begin that process?
No, it would just be scheduling, with the DPW and their availability.
Okay.
I know they're very interested in trying to move forward
Yes.
sooner rather than later with this project, given that it's a slower time of year, so they have availability, as well as it's good conditions with the ground being as frozen as can be. As long as no more storms come through
Yes.
the area, that keeps them busy.
Yes, so definitely once whatever happens tonight, then you'll have to work with, call Kathy, and then she can work with DPW, or somehow you guys meet and discuss, schedule, whatever, and then go out there and do it.
But we'll get notified, right, when that is gonna occur?
Yes, because
I mean,
part of this,
is there, the process does require they notify us, hey, they're gonna do it on XYZ date? Or is that something that we could ask you to do?
well,
Or Kathy, or,
we just have to tell Kathy and that this is, because right now she's the contact person for this project.
Yeah.
So she'll keep us informed because she's the one that told me about this. So I think she's out on bereavement leave right now, but Mary Beth thought she might come back tomorrow. So
Yes. Assistant.
I can contact Kathy, let her know what the status is of bus, and then anytime that, whenever the dates are required, then DPW and Kathy need to tell us, and somebody needs to tell us, so one of us could go out. If it's during I probably won't be able to, but maybe Ed or somebody can go to, not that they want, to watch or whatever, but
come on,
Yes.
this is gonna be fun.
yes. So yes. So what you want a negative determination? Is that what you're looking for?
Yes, we're asking for a negative determination in buffer zone, clearly, but
So-
will not alter the BBW.
1 through 5, which are 6. Which one are we looking for?
I'm sorry?
The negative determination. There's the area described in the request is not an area subject to the jurisdiction under the Act or the buffer zone. Number 2 is the work described in the request is within an area subject to the jurisdiction under the Act, but will not remove, fill, dredge, or alter that area. Therefore, said work does not require the filing of a notice of intent. The work described in the request is within the buffer zone as defined in the regulations, but will not alter an area subject to the jurisdiction under the Act. Therefore, said work does not require the filing of a notice of intent, subject to the following conditions, if there are any.
Yeah, it's what I refer to as a -3.
Okay.
Which is the last one that you just
Okay, that's all. Just need to check that off. And then also, to a piece of paper here. Do you want it? Well, I can't hand deliver it because I don't know where. So yeah, I'm not driving to Worcester. So I will send it to you by certified mail. The determination and backability.
Right, I'm sorry, my hearing is bad.
That's okay. No, so once we sign it,
Yep.
you need to, I need to get it to you, so I need to, so is the 100 Grove Street, Suite 203, is that where I need to send it to?
Sure.
Okay, I'll send it I send it certified mail, because
Okay.
I'm not driving to Worcester to hand deliver it.
No, that's fine. And we can make sure that we get it to the property owner as well.
Okay. Yeah, because Kathy will need a copy of it for her purposes. And I think that's it. So we can close the hearing. Anybody have one more left? Any more questions?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
It is 8:21, February 18th, 2025. Okay.
All right.
So,
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time, and especially out in the cold.
it might be a couple days before I get this done, but I will, like I said,
That's fine. I mean, we know what the decision is, so, Dan can start talking to people about schedules and all of that. So.
and I can give Kathy a copy of it too, just because I can email it to her, because I'm going to have to email it to the site.
Okay.
I think this is a different site than I usually do, but yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Have fun with the toys. Okay, so we'll do stacks. So we just need to, for 545 Franklin Street, we need a motion to approve the order of conditions.
Motion.
Seconded, and I know you have the boilerplate, but are we gonna add in the additional ones that we had talked about now?
Yes.
Get added in?
Yeah, if you send it to me, or I'll start the process. So what usually I do this, that goes with this, so it's not, when it's sent to them and that, it's a separate sheet of paper, but it's within this order of conditions. So whatever notes you made, I will send it, the start of it, and then if you guys want to add on,
Yep.
we can do that.
Do you want to send a text, or you want to?
No, it needs to be an email, like preferably in a Word document, so I can just copy and paste, so I'm not having to retype,
Yep.
because I type all day. Anyway,
So the motion is to to approve it with the condition.
the motion is to approve the order of conditions for 340-0487545 Franklin Street, with our boilerplate, which will be attached to this once they're done. But we don't, since we haven't done the boilerplate or made the specific instructions in it, I can't, say what it is. But that being said,
There'll be an amendment to that when we send it.
it's not an amendment. It's just a piece. It's an
Well, it's part of
what?
it. It will be part of it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just like another sheet.
Oh,
So
okay.
the one, wrong file. Jeez. Okay. Here we go. So part of the boilerplate will be, there's no dumping of the leaves or other materials, which is already in it. No fertilizer, no salt on the, no fertilizer to the land, to the lawn or anything.
Yeah.
No salt on the driveway. He already mentioned the salt fins and the salt sock. We will put the native plants in there.
50 foot, yeah.
And no disturbing within the 25 foot.
Yes, and then the silt fence.
Yep.
On the 50. Things like updating the drawing, that is part of the conditions too.
Yes, because he said he was going to do it, so it has to be.
Go in there, right?
Well, then once he gives me that new plan, will be listed on here.
Oh, okay.
So I have.
So you can't file that until you get the new plan anyways.
Correct.
That's
So
okay.
what happens is when I'm filling this out,
Yeah, because you have to submit everything that's got to be accurate, right?
yes, so it lists in here. So the name of the plan, whatever it is, going to be, I don't know if they're renaming it, but I did notice that, whatever they, yeah, so what the one they had is plot plan number 545 Franklin Street, and then it lists the Grady Consulting and then the engineers, because I have to say who stamped it, because it has to have a physical stamp on it,
Engineer.
and then the revision date. So now it'll have more of that. Awesome. So, okay.
You made a motion?
Didn't we already do that?
I don't know, a second. Yeah, did we already? Okay.
Second, you second, right? All in favor, that's what the party did.
That's what it
Aye,
was.
yeah.
Just
Okay,
finish it off,
Okay. Sign that
Yep.
one. Okay, let's get this one down. Okay, so now, this doesn't have a boilerplate, they just,
Yeah.
we just need a motion to approve it.
Motion approved. Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Just help educate me a little bit too. So as I read Wetlands Protection Act, there are exemptions for when it's not applicable, and one of them is like minor. So I think when we were talking about, we said that this work is minor. Is clearing a bunch of it? Is that minor? I don't know.
I wouldn't say, because it's not, you're not tearing up the ground, they're just gonna go through and just like take the top off. It's not, they're not gonna be, all they're doing, anything that they're penetrating the ground is only for soil testing.
Yeah.
It's not for taking down trees, they're just gonna go through and take the little, whatever you wanna put, it's almost like a snow blower, because it's, and then it deposits it down in that. So they're not pulling anything out of the ground.
Yeah,
They might,
the roots and things.
no, everything's just
Okay.
top
And it's
level.
and I guess you could consider temporary because
Yes,
when
it's
that
up.
vegetation will grow back.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
taking anything
They're not
out.
removing- yeah, that's
Yeah, they're not
just- it's
removing
gonna
anything.
fall.
They're just gonna,
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't say chop, but chop and then put it back in, it's just chips and it'll all
Yeah.
regrow because we're not, anything that's, pervasive or non, what's it called? Whatever. Anyway,
Oh, non-native stuff.
Yes.
Like that one bush you pointed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget.
Invasive.
it doesn't matter if they cut it, it might chop it off, but it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's digging down or anything, because the only thing that they're digging into the soils for the testing, and the testing is only going to be like so bit
Yeah.
brown.
The way that it's worded, it's a little vague. It's open to interpretation, so that's why
Yeah.
I figured I would ask.
No,
you.
but like he
See
explained,
guidance on that, but yeah.
yeah, they're going to instruct DPW of what they can and cannot do, and nothing is being removed or dug up. It's just,
Where did those conditions, if you will, like we talked about, not removing the trees, where does that get identified?
good question. I don't know if we can put a boilerplate together for it. Just, yeah.
And, right now it's the honor system. Should it be somewhere to say?
Well, we can put a boilerplate like we do the other, that they just, that they can't, they're not gonna be digging anything up or anything, I mean, because,
Leave the trees.
well, the whole, the town doesn't own the property, that's the whole thing.
Right.
So they are under clear understanding, because when I had our Zoom call, that was like the thing, it's like, this isn't our land,
Yeah.
so you have to be, that's why I want somebody to go and instruct DPW that this is what you can't take down that, you can do that. This is what, but it's like, it has to be very detailed because,
Totally agree. 100%.
because we only have an access agreement,
Yeah.
and that's it, so.
Yeah.
And that's above and beyond that you're so close to the wetlands too.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve with a negative determination.
Yes, number 3.
Number three.
Okay.
All right, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I do want to be present.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Any other little words all you want?
So, in that case, then you will need to, just so you're there and I'm not having to be in between, that if you could, which one's this? Email Kathy, because otherwise I'm going to be in the loop and I don't need to be in the loop.
Who's Kathy?
Kathy O'Keefe, she is the assistant town administrator. She's like second in command in the town.
Oh, I should know that.
Well, selectmen are, but so there's the selectman, there's Mary Beth, who's the town administrator, and there's Kathy.
Okay.
So,
I'll shoot her an email on just the
yeah,
day when we get scheduled. All right,
Yeah,
I'll hit up those too. Probably not. Stay away from
no, well, it's
I'll
just,
go with Kathy, she's the contact.
so this is the thing. The person that's running the show is Kathy, so she needs to be the one that she's our contact. I just want it to be a clear line,
I'm hoping so.
because, but if you do have they seem to be, on board and everything, but if you have a problem with DPW, then you'll need to tell me and I doubt there would be.
Okay.
Yeah, but, yeah, no, don't reach out to DPW because they have their instructions, because these are the professionals, and so they need to, if you want to go, then just make sure Kathy.
I'm gonna go to
No.
the sort of, thing, so I'm not gonna interfere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And but if they ask me, hey, is it okay if we take that tree?
they won't be asking.
They won't be asking. Yeah.
They can't, no,
They
because
can't ask, they know now what it is.
yeah, because we've already said it's vegetation they're taking down, not trees,
Trees.
vegetation.
Yeah.
So, okay. It is now 8:34. We are done for the night. Our next meeting is March, 4th. We have Auburn Street, I can't remember the number, for the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will also schedule this as well for the MBTA. We'll do that at 8 o'clock because the pool shouldn't take that long. Site inspection for the pool is 4 o'clock Friday, February 28th. So I'll have to reach out to Matt again to find out when we could do a site inspection.
I'm leaving this Thursday. No night session. And I'll be back on Monday. And then I'm home for a couple of days, and then I'm going back again.
Okay.
So I got limited time, but
Okay.
if I'm available, I'll certainly
Okay.
enjoy it.
So we were adjourned. All right.